So I have been doing research on myself. I've been doing research on myself for years. Um, but in these last few years, this is the first time that I feel like I've done the research in order to figure out what part of my purpose or the way that I can generate income is. And I'm going to tell you why that's important specifically for me. That is important for me because as the eldest daughter of um, maybe the third set or the second set of children that my parents had in this life. I came in, I feel, with this energy, but that experience helped, not experienced, that experience helped to shape the thoughts that I would have, which is I want to become wealthy. I have always desired to become wealthy. And I mean monetarily. I'm not going to hold you anymore. I'm not going to lie. I want money. And the reasons that I had for my desire of money, they first were projected outward, not gonna lie. It was, I want to take care of my mother and my father, my brothers and my sisters. I wanted us to have this living, this style of living, really and honestly, some that I had seen on television, but that I had desires for in my heart, or the desire was awakened by way of me seeing people who looked like me having this lifestyle. I wanted to purchase my father a Cadillac, so much so that in my youth, I remember sitting on the sofa with my dad, God rest his soul, and I said, Daddy, I'm going to buy you a Cadillac. Now, I said that all proud and boldly to my father because I knew, number one, he is a Cadillac man. And I wanted his approval so bad, and I wanted his support for whatever ways I could establish this and make this a fact. Okay. For my mother, I wanted to get her whatever kind of car she wanted to have. Like, I wanted them both to have their own cars so that nobody had to really worry about who was going to drive people where, because we had a very large family. And oftentimes there were sacrifices that had to be made as far as getting everybody to where they had to be. My reality is my father has passed away. And I'm still sitting here trying to figure out in what way am I supposed to manifest this money. I have had big, lofty ideas of starting a nonprofit organization, specifically geared towards leadership of young ladies and honing their skills of leadership because I understood that confidence is important. Um, and in that organization, I wanted to use all the things that were of interest to me. So, public speaking, um, the performing arts, singing, dancing. That wasn't my thing, but that's one of my sister's things. And I was keeping them in my mind about it. Um, Beauty and acting. These things I wanted to partner up with also women who were already in this, who were already doing these things. And even beyond that, business, entrepreneurship was a big thing. It has always been a big vehicle for me. And so in my organization, I dreamt of women who were already in business, who were not too high, too lofty to sit with women who had not yet arrived. And that these women would have some powerful names, you understand, and they'd be doing some big and powerful things. This was one of my many dreams. That also has not been actualized yet. In my years when I was trying to make fetch happen and it didn't, I'm not going to lie, it felt like I was so disappointed in myself, disappointed in my own ability to bring people together in such a way that not only were we starting from nothing and with nothing, but that we together would come together and raise funds, raise money to where we could begin to do these events and host gatherings that began to grow into this vision that I had for it. And if you're anything like me, there is a depression that comes or can be looming over you. And I'm going to say it came. It came so hard that it made me put that on a shelf because things didn't happen in the time frame that I wanted them to. So as far as I was concerned, they probably were not going to happen. Here's the thing. As I've started to do research on myself by way of the vehicle of astrology, I have begun to learn that all of these ideas that I've had in my life very early on, they are all deep desires rooted in me because it's how I was made. It's how I am made. And I have had to undergo a series of transformations. And transformation is a huge word for the word change. So I've had to experience a lot of changes in my life, in my lifestyle. But I feel like all of that is to support the vehicle. It's to give authenticity to all these big dreams that I had. And maybe even to give fuel instead of becoming depressed and thinking that I'm not who I say I am. And instead of believing that I'm not going to have what I always desired to have, it's like, no, it's not meant to derail. It was meant to give fullness to this idea that I have and all the other ones. Because entrepreneurship seems so far away sometimes for me as a person who is one who does not hold down a job. Like, I can give it a strong 6 months, and after 6 months, let me tell you what's happening, guys. My mind is wandering on all of these things that I feel like I could be putting my energy into if I wasn't so tired from the job, if my mind wasn't so focused on that. And I am a one track mind kind of girl. Hold on, mommy, here I come. So, where did I leave off? Yeah, the idea of being this lady whose attentions can be spread without me dropping something, without me missing something. That is, I realize, not a truth for me. I do tend to be a one track mind person until, yes, another thought comes in. Um, when I started learning about neurodivergence, I was like, oh my God, this sounds just like me. This sounds like me. This sounds like me. And it was me. And I don't look at it like a handicap or anything, although there are times when I do where I feel saddened by the way that my mind works because it's like, damn, I don't finish shit. Or it makes it like it's really, really hard. For me, I have found that I finish things, but it's after I start them and walk away from them for God knows how long. And then there's a circling back that happens in my life. It's what happened with me for school, as far as college. And even with certain projects, I put in a lot of effort and a lot of focused activity and work. And then I just walk away from it, only for it to come back, and then I have to complete it. Don't know what that's about. If anybody's familiar with that and this happens to you too, go ahead and make sure that you comment somewhere wherever this goes up. But because my mind works so differently and I see the world drastically different from, I'll say, some people who I've been connected to in love relationships, which have, this has been a huge factor in my relationships, like, said to be a breakdown point. And I'm bringing all of these things together because they really do affect me, and I feel like they affect the call on my life and my work. Part of my work, I found out, is to help women, specifically women, to learn how to become self reliant, to become independent and interdependent. It matters. And to teach them to be an individual, even within a divine connection, whether it's marriage or a committed relationship, okay, or partnership. And that is not easy for some of us. I cannot speak for everyone, but for those who have a Libra rising like myself, or you have very strong Libra placements, it is hard for you because you are a people person. You, even if it's just one other person, you desire human contact. You desire to really formulate and cultivate relationships with people, friendships, and things like that. Sometimes even to your own detriment, and marriages and covenants. So we really have to work and wade through this idea of who we are, our own identity, because it does undergo so many transformations with things like childbirth, with things like, entering in and out of relationships and covenants with people. Because women have the ability, like chameleons, to really match the energy of whatever partner they are with, and sometimes causing them to lose themselves. And part of my mission is to help us remain who we are, remain that constant, have that fire always within us burning, and letting that lead the way, letting that be like the light in darkness, um, helping us to know what doors to walk through, stuff like that. I'm rambling. I'm sorry. It has taken me a very long time to feel as if I have found what my purpose is. Um, and this was important for me because I knew that connected to that was the money, is the money. Now, I am not going to lie to you guys. I am not making any money right now. And I'm certainly not making the type of money that could buy my father a Cadillac, which would now have to come through me, or my mother, nor buy her a car of her dreams, let alone myself. I am currently living on the HUD housing program in my apartment complex, which I am grateful for. But I don't want to remain here. Like, I feel like this is a stepping stone for me. And I don't want, and I am not called, in my opinion, to do things in the ordinary sense. It's literally not even the way that my mind works. My mind came out straight on some entrepreneurship, cultivating something from my mind into the world, into reality. And this does not mean that I'm not willing to work with other people or work for someone. It just means that usually in that sense, my loyalty is already split. And I have a big thing about loyalty and justice and fairness. And I have found that because I have a hard time with this splitting of my focuses, that I would rather throw all of my energy into creating something out of nothing. And I'm often sad when I have nothing to show. That's my truth. Someone got on this internet and said, share the thing that's embarrassing. Well, that's embarrassing for me. It's not the only thing. I've got plenty. I've got plenty of things. But when it comes to my core soul's purpose, that is what is embarrassing to me, that I am learning about what it is, and that I have so many notebooks filled with the information and the knowledge about how I'm meant to show up in this world and what's going to bring in, you okay, mommy? What's going to bring in wealth and things for me, and to not be doing it in a way where it's reaching who I feel that it should be reaching, to the point to where it's generating income and bringing that into my home, and me being able to build my house, right, from me doing the work of my hands. Bless you, baby. And being able to activate other women to do the same. The fact that that's not happening for me yet in a tangible way is blowing me. It depresses me. So that is what's embarrassing for me. And I wanted to share that because I prayed about something today. And it's not like I have not prayed this prayer before. I have. And I'm sorry, you guys, if I'm boring you. I'm going to hurry up and wrap this. We're going to land this plane, like they used to say on Clubhouse. May still say it. I prayed a prayer this morning, and I feel really good about it. And that happens to me so much, only for something to flop or not to show up in the way that I was expecting it to. So therefore, it's like a flop, right? Well, that's not totally true. I have to see things. Sometimes my perspective needs to change, but there are big things that I have desires to do. Big things. And when I don't see those things take off or happen, I promise it hurts me to my core. So I amend my prayers and I pray again and I come to the table with something else. My sister, who is a Virgo, which is important. I'm going to tell you one of these days why that's important. No, we'll go ahead and do it now since we're taking all this time. In my chart, Virgo is a ruler of my 12th house, which is the sister sign to Pisces, by the way. And Virgo can denote your hidden enemies, but I also feel like it can show you hidden genius, hidden spiritual gifts, or hidden gifts that you have, talents that you have. So Venus is there in that placement, which is the planet associated with things like wealth and luxury and beauty and strategy. And my Virgo sister sent me something that she saw, and I know she had to have thought that I was going to love this. And I did. She was right. I did. It was, I'm sure, like it can fall under a hoodoo ritual or just some type of ritual, period. And I love rituals. I love a ritual. You understand me? No longer ashamed or embarrassed about that either. People will make you feel that way, but ritual is in everything. Not going to go and stand on that soapbox right now. Not at all. But the ritual was about if you want something and you need something fast, write it down and put it in your Bible, specifically in this particular Psalms. Psalms 102, if anyone's interested. I got up this morning. It was already 5 o'clock. I was already up because of the alarm clock that is Amari, my baby girl. I was trying to check to see if she recognized her name, and no, she doesn't yet. But anyway, we're gonna keep on practicing. Um, so I got up and I said, I am going to do this today. Like, I'm not waiting. Very fire sign energy of me. So I go and I sit at my desk, this desk that I'm at now. And with all of my being, I call in the powers of my ancestors, my spiritual team, the angels that walk beside me and war with me. And I ask that they be with me as I begin to channel my energy to this paper in good faith, trying the spirit. Because, quite contrary to belief, God wants us to test them. I don't know, and question them. I hate when people say, don't test God or tempt God. Girl, please don't listen to that, okay? God is a God that says, try me, okay? Because I know I'm going to come through. Try me. Use me. Because I know I'm going to show up for you. And then when I show up for you, depending on how many times you need in your spirit, you'll show up for me. This I'm confident of. So, with that being said, I'm trying God in this way. I wrote my petition and I put it in Psalms 102. And this is not the first time I've actually done that. I've done that every time I got out of a bad relationship, heartbroken, shattered, fragmented, low. But I was armed with information about what I wanted and what I no longer wanted to participate in and what I no longer wanted to project out into the world. And so that would give me new information to create a new list. Very Virgo of me. And I would create a new list and I would just put it in my Bible. I didn't even have no specific place to put it, y'all. I just put it in there. And lo and behold, I done manifested so many relationships. I'm saying so many, but it's really only been 3 major relationships. But the point that I'm making is that's still a lot to me. I have manifested 3 relationships that way. And when I tell you it was unbeknownst to me initially, it was unbeknownst to me. I was just doing what I was led to do from my soul, from my heart, my broken heart. You know, the Bible talks about the Most High God being close to the brokenhearted, those who are low in spirit. And right now, I'm not going to lie to y'all, I am low in my spirit. I am low in my spirit because I do not see the manifestation of me in my own life yet. And people say, you got to work a job, babe. Calm down, baby. People say, you got to work a job. You got to stay consistent on a job. You got to do this. You got to do that on a job. You got to work for somebody else in order to be a great, and I'm not saying that that's not logical. I promise you I'm not. And I guess if I wanted money right this second, which I do, I would go do that. But you know what? I've done that. I've hurried up and skedaddled and got on job boards and I have applied and I have interviewed, which I am great at, by the way. That is the glory of God. Hell, I've even had the idea of maybe coaching people with responses on their interviews because I'm so goddamn good at it. Like, knowing I ain't gonna have that job, but for maybe 6 months. I can't even see past 6 months. I'm not even lying to you guys. Listen, I'm not even trying to be funny. I have this thing about time, probably also connected to my neurodivergence, that I'm not a person who can go, like, I'm not that person that's going to look and say, oh, 5 years from now, okay, this is about to get on my nerves. Sorry, guys. 5 years from now, I have this plan. I struggle with a 5 year plan. What? I don't know if I'm going to be here in 5 years. I don't know if I'm going to be in my right mind in 5 years. I have no idea if I'm going to have the activity of my limbs in 5 years. I can't go that far. Now, unbeknownst to me and all of my god doggone speaking into the air and atmosphere, maybe that's what's constantly creating each year for me, and I have no idea about it, right? But I struggle with that concept. I go get these jobs. I do so good in the interviews, and I really do be meaning what I'm saying. I do. I mean it with everything in me. I can never see myself being at a company for my lifetime, retiring. Like, I haven't seen that yet. And I have struggled and I have wanted to see it. Why? Because it seems reasonable. It seems logical. Like, this is the stuff that these people talk about here. Normal people talk about stability in a way where it means long years, like they can add up the years at a place. That hasn't been me. I have struggled with that. My ass always coming up with something new. And if one thing doesn't work, okay, maybe I should try it another way. And I'm not gonna lie, that's hurtful to me too, because God knows. God knows that I'm not short on ideas and I am willing to work for them. Those things, for some reason, I will work and go hard for, even if that shit ain't working. So it's not like your girl ain't got no work ethic. It's not like I'm not serious, because when I do show up to them people's job, I am amazing. I am good. And I think more so it's because of my people skills, but I'll be good until that itch starts to happen. And it's like, girl, now you can use this in some kind of way, but this ain't it. I'm not 1,000 on how I'm going to show up in the world in a way that it brings me my finances and it establishes me so that your girl don't have to be shamed about bills anymore, or that I don't have to be ashamed because I look unstable. There are people who judge me and my family because of the way that my mind works. You are unstable. Sometimes people question my parenting. They are like, shit, when I say people, this one goes out to my man, my partner, the person who I have procreated life with, and even others in my family, siblings, who were like, girl, if you really cared about your kids, you would get any type of job. It doesn't matter if you like it. It doesn't matter if you like it. But for me, it matters. If I don't like it, if I don't have no place in it, if my heart is not in it, if I can't find away. If I can't see it, it's so hard for me to wrap my mind about being in a place that I do not want to get up and wake up and be absolutely joyful to go to, even in the tough times, the tough days. The idea of that, I cannot do that. I get overwhelmed. I start getting anxious. I'm like, I'm going to quit. That doesn't make sense to me. That actually is not logical to me. What is it? And on top of that, I'm a mommy. I do like being away from my children for some time because I need a break. However, I need my job to be about me and for me, with me in mind, not the other way around. And I keep thinking, and when I say with me in mind, I don't mean like selfishness. I just mean I need to be able. Come here, baby. What you over here doing? What you over here doing? Because it look like you're over here doing. You okay? You suck it. Okay, I need the job to be centered where it's centered around me and my life and what I've got going on. And they consider that in such a way that it's like, girl, you don't got to worry about your job because you're a mama or because you have to take off to take, for appointments and shit. You don't have to, like, I need that. And you don't get that to me at every job or at any job for that matter. So I felt like I had to create it. On top of that, your girl is different every 2 to 3 days. Like my energy shifts with the moon. Damn it, I said I was going to wrap this up. I'm acting like a Baptist preacher. My energy changes with the moon. And I mean really changes with the moon. And people would be like, girl, what do you mean? You don't gotta do that. You can change this and that and the third. No, my body and my mind is in alignment with the heavens. And that don't be on man's time. That be on God's time. And with that being said, I have to actually be strategic about how I work. And other major companies are not concerned about the fact that this girl's mind is attuned to the heavenly tables and that every 2 to 3 days she's going to be acting different, let alone me being on my cycle. That first day sometimes it's a killer. It's a whopper. Knocks me down. Not only that, I am not my poppy self. I am something else. I am something else. And I don't like putting that version of myself out into the world. Because let me tell you what I do. Because my Libra rising goes out of the window. It's like, cut it out. Girl, tell these people how you feel right now. Let them have it raw, uncut, unfiltered, non-diplomatic. Because they trying you. All of my diplomacy goes out of the window. And as a person who has worked in customer service for over 20 years, that part of me be hurt once I'm out. Once I'm off my cycle. I don't want to put that out there. I don't believe people deserve that. Not good people, good working people. So there are so many reasons why I feel like, girl, I am meant to create something for myself, but not even just for me, for other people who are like me. You are not set up to work a traditional 9 to 5 job. Your mind doesn't even work that way. Your body doesn't work that way. You are meant to trust yourself, trust your intuition, go with the flow, to be in alignment with the stars. And if it's calling for you to rest, then you rest. If it's calling for you to be in action, then you get to action, you get to work. And that should not predicate whether or not you're a good employee or whether or not you're going to make money. I have not figured out my system yet. But that's what I was praying for. And that's what I was asking God for, because God knows that I feel like I've got an audience. I feel like I've got a people that I have to talk to. And I need to be able to talk to them sometimes whenever they need it. And I need to be able to disseminate information that Spirit gives me for them, for myself, and then sit my ass down somewhere, recover, relax, enjoy nature, which is a gift from God. Enjoy exploring this world, which is also a gift from Goddess. Live my life for real, for real. Learn from every place that I get to travel, bringing with that information and activations that are meant for my people. that's the life that I am calling forth for myself. A life where my residential needs are covered, my needs and expenses for eating and eating what I enjoy, what's good for me, instead of just having to survive. So in survival mode, we're eating whatever is cheapest or we're eating whatever is already prepackaged because I don't got the time nor the energy to really prepare a meal. That's a luxury. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I'm not the best cook right now. Even though I'll get my behind up in that kitchen, find a recipe and try it with everything in me, my poor man be suffering because of that. So for me, I need the means to hire someone who that is their passion and that it is their life's mission and goal to serve people with excellent tasting and good for the body food. I will pay for that. I need the money to pay for that. So that's what I called in today and many other days. But I tried it again today. And your girl is actually hoping and we're believing that something is going to turn around for me very, very quickly so that my lifestyle that I'm calling forth can happen for me first. And then I talk about it with you guys over and over and over again. I tell you everything that I did, not so you could do everything that I did, but so that you, and even if you chose to do it, putting your zhuzh, putting your sauce on it because it's your energy, it's your faith that activates things in your life. That's how come stuff don't work for everybody. One, because certain doors are not meant for you to walk through, but then also because it's about your energy being put on a thing. And if it's meant for you, it activates it in a certain way. Kind of like the fifth element. I love that movie. I love that movie. I digress. Thank you, O Most High God, for this channeled message. Thank you for my soul tribe, my soul family, fellow goddesses, and gods for that matter, who love the goddesses, who are being activated for me to come towards me, to pour into me as I pour into them. Thank you for my miracle. Thank you for my manifestation. Thank you for the gift of life, for the ability to come to you honestly, raw, in my heart space, in my mind, and declare my matter. Thank you, oh God. Peace, love, light, and darkness, which all work together to bring balance and harmony, first within ourselves and then within our world. It's been my pleasure to be vulnerable like this. I hope and pray that this actually touches somebody. All right, guys. Bye. If you are like me and you want a community to link up with, if you have not already, I highly recommend going to the description box below and clicking on the link to join the Pretty Coach online. Because even though I'm not yet where I want to be, I am still working each day whenever I'm led to share information in regards to things that bother us or things that may be on our minds, or at least for sure have been on mine. And I have blogs out there to motivate, blogs to help us, may make us roll our eyes a little bit, or to encourage. And I've got videos that have blessed my soul, videos of me channeling information that spirit gives me. And I even have my businesses that I feel were ideas gifted to me by God that I'm hoping will generate income so that I can live this life that I'm telling y'all about. If you feel compelled to join me over there at the prettycoach.online. Okay, bye guys.